Good evening, good people. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start talking. Uh, if you can hear me, please put in the comments and tell me if it's clear or not. If you don't mind, if you would be so kind, and then I'll wait a few moments for a few people to jump in, and then I will get started. I'm gonna be very brief tonight. Not gonna do too much. I'd like to be very concise with my message tonight. Okay, okay, we clear. All right, I'll just wait a couple more moments and we'll get started. Taylor, how you doing? How's it going? Hope everybody is doing well, surviving, trying to stay afloat in this crazy world that we live in with everything that's going on. Um, Appreciate y'all tuning in tonight, whoever you are. Once again, I would like to be very brief with my message. Just had a couple things on my mind, on my heart that I think is worth being shared this evening. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and get started, man. So tonight I wanted to talk about leadership principles, leading with intention and not for attention. Quite frankly, ladies and gentlemen, I feel that we have lost our way a little bit. Now, tonight's message, as I always say, is not to tear another person down. Is not to degrade anyone, demean anyone. Hopefully, it is to inspire those in leadership to make the right decisions and, like I said, lead with intention and not for attention. I'm in the social work field, and the reason that this message is so important to me is that honestly, I've observed over the last few years, in fact, a on a few occasions that those in leadership are not truly leading with intention, more so to just to be the face of something. And I want to explain to everybody tonight the danger in doing that. The danger of it is that the more you put your face on something, the more pressure you put on yourself. For example, if I was to hop on, you guys know, if you know me, you know I'm involved in a lot of things. However, if I was to get on all of my pages and just start posting boastful things like, hey, look at what I've done. Look at what I'm doing over here. Look at what I'm doing over there. I'm doing this, I'm doing that, that kind of thing. Rather than doing everything that I want to do, right? Because I don't want to I don't want to jumble my words here. I can do all those things, but when I'm doing it and I'm jumping on different platforms like, hey, look at me, look at me, look at me, that's when it becomes a problem. When you do things because that's what you want to do and that's what you feel is right and you're helping somebody else, the recognition will come with that. You don't have to force the recognition, if that makes sense. And the more you put your face on something, the more jurisdiction your viewers or your followers or whoever it is that you're trying to appeal to, or whatever population you're trying to serve, right? You give them more jurisdiction to throw mud on your name. And it doesn't just affect you. And this is where the importance of it comes in. Everything you do every day affects at least 10 people, and you don't even know it. Hey, Mr. Martin, what's going on, man? I see you. Good, staying busy, busy, trying to rebuild every day. Yep, that's what it's all about. Just trying to maintain, stay afloat. I hear you. I'm right there with you. But yeah, back to the point. You give people more jurisdiction to throw dirt on your name and smear it, because when you're in leadership, no matter what role it is, somebody somewhere is waiting on you to mess up so they can drag you. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It doesn't matter. It could be it could be photography. Like me and Taylor, we're photographers. We both own businesses. You know, we do our things. Actually, Taylor does multiple things. I'm gonna shout you out right quick. She is also a licensed realtor, so she doing her thing. But for example, if she and I respectively were to jump on our pages and start boasting about this and that, rather than actually keeping the main thing, and serving the people we need to serve and helping them solve problems, which is what the business is meant to do, then we've lost our way if we're not doing that. So really, don't shoot yourself in the foot is what I'm trying to tell you. And what I've observed specifically in the social work field, with awareness, overdose awareness, you know, the field is growing and growing, and I just feel that everybody is basically saying that they're, because they might have helped a few people, who struggle with addiction, substance use, or mental health issues, that everybody is an expert now. And I'm all for everybody pitching in to help, and we need that. But when you go saying that you are a specialist, that you work in the field, and you don't really, you're not, one, you're not licensed. Two, you don't really work for any entity that is helping someone with substance use or mental health issues. And three, you're just simply not employed at any place, that does that. So when you're doing that, eventually somebody's going to, like, they're going to check your temperature. They're going to be like, where them credentials at? You know what I mean? And if you get put on the spot like that and you don't know what to say, or you don't know what to do, you don't know how to answer the question, what then? You know what I'm saying? I don't run around telling people that I was a counselor for 4 years, right? But there's a difference between somebody who does substance use counseling and who's a licensed professional counselor. I do not have that credential, so I'm not going to put that LPC beside my name, and I'm not going to run around saying, yeah, I'm a professional therapist. I'm a licensed therapist. I'm not a licensed therapist. Do I have experience with doing substance use counseling? Yes. I can still help people, but for me to sit here and say I'm the cream of the crop, I'm the best of the best, like there is no better than me, you should only work with me, like being a pick me, that's what I'm getting at. Being a pick me, you know, you better be able to back that up. That's that's what I'm saying. And we really have to understand the weight of everyday decision making. Like I say, everything you do affects 10 people. That could be family, that could be anybody in your inner circle, your anywhere. So that's just something to think about, y'all. We really, we really have to check ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Being the face of everything ain't always the best thing. You know, it's better to just put your head down, do what you do what you feel is right, do the right thing, and then if you get recognized for it, you get recognized for it. If you don't, it doesn't really matter. You know what I'm saying? That's not what impact is about. Impact is about helping people. It's got to do with integrity, doing the right thing when nobody's looking. Just do the right thing, man, and everything gonna come with that, man. Like, don't worry about being the face of everything. You know, think about, all right, look, think of it like this, right? Everybody grew up, or you know what I'm saying? People want Lambo. Everybody want a Lambo, right? Is Lambo on TV every day advertising their cars? No. Do you even know the owner of Lamborghini? Have you ever seen them? I haven't. The exclusivity of it. That's why people want the best product, because it's exclusive. It's not, you can't find it everywhere. You can't see it everywhere. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Jada? What's going on? But you cannot see it everywhere. That's what makes it so great. And that's what makes people covet it so much. And that's another thing that you need to be careful of. Even if that's what people want, even if they have like a strong desire for it, right? Do not allow yourself to fall into the trap of wanting to be desired for, wanting to be wanting to be or being addicted to the feeling of, oh my gosh, they chose me. You know what I'm saying? That should humble you. If somebody chose you, again, if somebody books me for pictures, right? That makes me feel good, because it's like, wow, they believed in me, you know what I'm saying, to record this special moment for them. That makes me feel good, but I'm not in the same token gonna be like, man, they chose me. Like, I knew I was the one. I knew I was better than XYZ. All these other photographers out here. Nah, man. Nah. Be thankful for the people that you are able to serve, the people that you are able to help. Just be grateful for that, man. Because at the end of the day, you ain't really as important as you think you are. None of us, when you really think about it. None of us are as important as we think we are. We spend half our lives worried about what people think about us, worried about what people saying about us, that we got to put up this facade, that we got to look like, we got to put out on Facebook, that, or any other, platform, that we doing so well. None of this is real. People understand, people can tell when it's in you and not on you. When these cameras and lights go off, is you the same person that you is when you own the camera? That's the question that you need to ask yourself. If the answer to that is no, you need to cut that camera and them lights off, and you need to get right. You need to get right for yourself, not for everybody else. You need to get right for yourself, because you will become a danger to yourself and other people around you. You will become a danger to them. So you got to be real careful about what you doing. And you got to think about all these things before you even think about leading anybody. If you can't lead yourself, you can't lead nobody. You understand what I'm saying? So, what's up, y'all? I see y'all. Summer, what up? Oh, you texted me? Hold on, y'all. I know. And it's hot. It's hot in here too. If I'm sweating, pardon me. I gotta get an AC put in this room. What's up? My brother wants to know. Summer, let me. I'm gonna respond to this when I get up off of here. I ain't gonna be on here too much longer. But I got you though. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've done that before. I can help you out. I got you. Uh, Kenzie, what's popping? Liz, I see you. What up? L, what up, my boy? What's going on? Salute, man. Yeah, like I was saying, man. Just don't worry about trying to be the face of something, man. You know, some people, and don't be envious either. Like some people just got an aura about them that just makes people want to follow them, and some people are just blessed with that. You know what I'm saying? Don't be jealous of those kinds of folks. They just being themselves. You know what I'm saying? For example, um, my brother Cameron Shannon, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all already know. Y'all already know about him. That's my brother. Shout out to him. That's, he is who he is. He's got a wonderful energy about him. People love him, and he's just being himself. He is not attention seeking. He does what he does because he loves what he does, and he really wants to make an impact on the youth and the community as a whole. And he has done that extraordinarily, and I salute him. But that's just, that's just a great example of what I'm talking about tonight. Jay, what up, boy? Yeah, I got the clear. Yeah, man. Hey, man, Jay about to make me. I gotta be humble, man. But yeah, I got him. I got him. It's all right. It's all right to celebrate yourselves a little bit, man. Every now and then. All I'm saying is just don't do it all the time. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta be on Front Street all the time. You ain't gotta be on the front of Register Herald. You feel me? It's just not. It's not a recipe for success, or long term success. But yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Leadership principles, man. On the more pertinent business, as far as the Square Business Podcast goes, me and Kurt, we got plenty more coming for season 3 for y'all. So please be patient with us. We are still waiting on a specific piece of equipment that is going to allow us to put out episodes fairly quickly. Right now, I'm doing all the editing, of course, of my own choice, because that's just what I do, but it takes time. So it's hard to get the content out on a daily basis. We watch reels all the time and every day, and desk scrolling. I'm a very busy man. I do not have time to be creating reels all day and night. So I just ask that you be patient, but we definitely are still working. We actually are filming an episode tomorrow. I'm not going to tell y'all with who, but we got a lot coming. So, with that being said, I would answer a few questions. If anybody got like mental health questions or anything that's been on y'all heart, I will answer that. So, I don't see none right now, but if you got any questions, I would be happy to answer them. But I'm glad to hear that y'all doing well. holding it down. You know what I'm saying? I'm holding it down, still taking care of the wife. You feel me? Everything copacetic. Can't complain about too much. If I did complain, we'd be here too long. And I don't think my camera gonna record that long. Plus, I don't think y'all want to hear all that anyway. Hey, Shay. It's my little sister, y'all. Shaylin, I know you got a question. Go ahead. Go ahead and ask me something. So, moving forward, I don't think I got to make a video last week. Oh, man, let me tell y'all about last week. So, I was in Nashville from Sunday to Thursday, and I was at a work conference. It's like the biggest conference in the country for treatment courts and how to improve our treatment courts, how we can better serve our communities and the participants that we have in specialty courts. So, never been to Nashville before. I had an amazing time, and we were at the Gaylord Resort. I don't know if y'all ever heard of that, but it's a huge convention center for events and things like that. Man, these ballrooms, man, they can hold like 5,000 people. We was in sessions, it's like 4,000 people in the room, no joke. And I noticed when I walked in, they had like television broadcast level cameras, like junks that sit on the stand, like you moving with the little handles. I'm like, ooh wee. So I walk up to the keynote speaker after the initial session is over. I'm like, hey bro, I ain't say it like that, but I was like, hey, what you gotta do to be on the media team? Dude was like, I'm surprised you asked me that. We only got a two-man crew. I was like, you need a third? Bro was like, give me your information. Slipped him a card. Got to know that. Slipped him a card. He was like, hit me up after the convention is over. I'm like, all right, cool. So I sent him an email. I'm waiting on a response. Next year they having a convention in Maryland. I said, yeah, you need me on that team. He said, say less. So pray for your boy. Let's see what happens. All right, Shay, you said, what would you say is your most pivotal moment in your professional career? My most pivotal moment in my professional career? Oh man, that's a great question, sis. My most pivotal moment. I don't know about my professional career yet. I don't feel like I've had it just yet. I don't feel like I've had a pivotal moment just yet. Like I'm just now I'm just now like really getting the ball rolling. If you're talking about photography, that is, and media and stuff, um, I don't think I've had a pivotal moment in my professional career yet. But pivotal moment in my life in general was probably 2015. So in 2015, I was how old was I? I was 22. Yeah, I was like 22. Uh, that was a pivotal year in my life because I was going through, and I don't want to say an emotional time in my life, but I was going through some hardships at home, in and out of college. It was kind of a transitional period in my life. I was in a, I just be candid with y'all, just be open. I was in a situationship, and I came home from work one day, and I was just like sitting down, like zoned out. Y'all ever just like sit and zone out to the point where you kind of forget where you at, but you thinking so deep about life and you don't even know why you doing it. But when you come back to, you either done had like some kind of revelation, or you just sitting there stunned, like, I forgot I was here. Like, what's going on right now? So it was one of them kind of moments, like a daydream kind of moment, and something in me just, I asked myself, I was like, what are you doing for real? What are you doing with your life? And I really don't know where that came from, but I'm thankful to God for that voice, because it was at that moment that I decided that I was gonna take my my life into my own hands. My life is always in God's hands, but if it makes sense, I was gonna take my situation into my own hands and change it around, because things had happened in my life to where I was kind of feeling like, can things really get any worse than it is right now? So, I was kind of like falling into despair a little bit, like not even believing that things could get better. So, when I heard that voice in my head, I say, you know what? I'm not about to live like this anymore. I'm going to take my life by the reins, and I'm going to go the way that I know I should be going. So I had to make a lot of big life decisions. I had to put myself first, because I naturally sacrifice for others. I used to be a people pleaser, y'all. Nowadays, not so much. Um, I did a lot of people pleasing in my younger days, and so that was probably the most pivotal moment in my life, and here I am now. You know what I mean? So I I trained myself to become self sufficient, and I was lucky to have people around me that would tell me, you're a grown man now. You are a man. You need to be able to sustain something for yourself before you think about being in a relationship, caring for someone else, and that kind of thing. So that really hit me hard. And like I say, I was lucky to have people around me that cared enough to tell me that. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have big homies around to tell you, hey, look, little bro, you tripping, bro. What you doing? You gotta have that. If I feel for the young men out there that don't really have another man around to be like, hey, little bro, I see you going the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? You need to hit a U-turn right here. Let's get this right. You know what I'm saying? And I'm real big on, when I have conversations with other men, I'm like, because if they telling me the same thing, I'm like, well, what did you do? What you say to bro? Like, what did you do for him after you told him that? You know what I'm saying? Why not you? You feel me? And I feel like that's where our generation, I feel like we've lost our way in that sense a little bit, to where the world is so individualized now. Everything is moving so fast. It doesn't feel like there's enough hours in the day. So we feel like we don't have time. Everybody got the same amount of time, but you got to delegate that time to what's most important to you. So it really speaks to all of us when we sit around and say, man, these little dudes tripping nowadays. These YNs is tripping. Who to what? Ain't nobody talking to them. Ain't nobody talking to them. So if ain't nobody talking to them and trying to connect with them and tell them like, hey, little bro, it's a better way. That's what leadership is. You know what I mean? You ain't got to get online. You ain't got to get on camera to have a conversation. we gotta, bro, we all gotta pitch in. We all gotta pitch in, or ain't nothing gonna change. That's how I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? But to answer your question, Shay, 2015 was my pivotal year in my life. So summer, yeah, man. People pleasing is hard to break, man. Especially when it's family. Oh my goodness, that is it's next level. It's next level, man. Especially when you're not a confrontational person. When people hear the word confrontation, they automatically think, you know, it's got to be tense. It's got to be a fight. Confrontation is not about fighting. It's not about things getting out of hand. It's just about confrontation leads to should lead to accountability. You know what I'm saying? Telling somebody, hey, what you said, what you did made me feel this way, and I'm letting you know about it. So can we come to a common resolution? That's what confrontation should be. Mr. Martin, see, now you see when we would talk to youngsters speaking like a true leader, bro. Yes, sir. You know, we gotta have we gotta we all want community, we all want change, but don't nobody wanna everybody looking like y'all know that meme with Spider-Man with all of them like pointing at each other like they clones. That's what it is, man. Everybody like, why don't you do it? Well, no, why don't you do it? Cause I got this going on. Why don't you do it? Nah, bro, I got this going on. I ain't got time. You better make time, cause we all gotta live in this. We all gotta live in this city together. We all gotta live in this world together. So who gonna step up, man? We can't just keep saying, "Oh, I ain't got time. I ain't got time. I ain't got time." Yes, you do got time. You do got time. You just don't want to do it. We gotta stop. We gotta stop saying, "I don't got time for this. I don't got time for that." We gotta take accountability, man. Summer, I'm still working on getting out of people pleasing, and yes, confrontation does not always mean an argument. Sometimes it's just a conversation, man. That's it. That's it, man. Men specifically, if you are in a relationship, if you have somebody in your life, listen to her. Listen to her, even when you don't want to. I'm talking to myself also. There are times when my wife is like, "Hey, we need to have this little conversation." And sometimes I already know what it's finna be about. And yes, I am guilty. Sometimes I be like, "Man, I ain't even trying to hear it. I don't want to hear it." And I be saying it just like that, y'all. And I'm dead wrong. I'm dead wrong for saying that. Because you know what that does? When you speak like that to your partner, to your lady, that tells her you don't value what I'm saying. You don't value me. That's not love. Do you really care about me like you say you do? You gotta listen. You got to listen. And you gotta listen to hear and not listen to respond. You gotta listen. Cause don't sit here and act like you do everything right all the time. No, you don't. No, you don't. Rob, what up, fam? But yeah. Sometimes conversations they hard, but you gotta have them. You know what I'm saying? If everything was easy, everybody would do it, and we know that ain't the case. Shoot, man, I appreciate y'all tuning in the way y'all do though. I did not I go into doing this with no expectations. If you just now tuning in or you didn't hear the beginning, I said that I don't forgot what I said now. I said, I do not always know how I'm gonna start these things off. So I usually wait until, good bit of people get in here so I can get started. But if you just now tuning in, we talking about leadership principles. We talking about leading with intention and not for attention. You know what I'm saying? If you are, all right, Summer, be easy, man. I'll holler at you tomorrow. Yep. Appreciate that. Appreciate it. If you are just now tuning in, I ain't gonna be much longer, but I'm gonna leave this video up. We're talking about leading with intention and not for attention. And my premise and my basis for this conversation tonight is don't do it for the cameras. Do it for your people. And then it'll flat like that. Don't do it for the cameras, do it for your people. And do it for yourself. Do it for yourself, man. In this world, this digital world that we living in, you got to do it for yourself. You got to protect yourself. And I'm not talking about just your image. I'm talking about you got to protect your character. You have to protect the people around you, because the way you present yourself, you represent more than just yourself. Speaking of representation, everything that I say on here is not a representation of any entity that I'm affiliated with. It is strictly my own personal thoughts, my own opinions, and they're just opinions. So take what I say with a grain of salt, but I feel like I'm keeping it real with y'all. But anyway, man, that's gonna wrap it up for this episode of Square Business. I'm playing. This is not an official episode of Square Business, but I do appreciate y'all tuning in and listening to me. Give y'all a little bit of jewels, and I'll be back soon. But I appreciate y'all. God bless you. Have a good evening. Don't do nothing I wouldn't do. And I'll catch y'all next time. All right.